Okay. Hi.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another edition of Power Connections with Dr. Kevin Vaughn. And I'm here with a wonderful, wonderful person here today, Dr. Charlene Smith. Dr. Charlene, I got to recognize you first. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you today, Dr. Smith.
I'm doing great. I'm telling you, it's a great day today.
Yes, it is a great day, and we give honor to God for being here today, folks. Not
Amen.
get that twisted. If you got any problems with that, you call me. I don't care where you at on the planet. We thank God for everything today, Doc. I'm
Yes.
just so thankful. I mean, we've got so much going on the planet. You just got to just thank God for being here today. So, Father God, we thank you for life. We thank you for health today. We thank you for eyeballs. I think I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can see Dr. Smith on this wonderful technology. How about this? I know how to work this technology. Even I got the iPad. So thank God for that. But Father God, we do thank God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit today with us today. Father, we ask you to bless this day, and we ask you to bless everything that comes out of our mouths today. And most of all, we want you to bless the people too, Father God, as we talk to Dr. Smith about this powerful topic today, guys. We're talking about relationships from her perspective, and we're excited. But Doc, we always have our wonderful guests
Yes.
open up a little bit. There's so much going on the planet. And we could, matter of fact, I could talk to you for a week easy on any topic and just talk for
Yes.
a whole week about stuff, so much going on. But if you would, just share with the people out there, anything you'd like to say to the folks before we get started.
Well, the first thing is learn to love yourself.
Come on,
That's
Doc.
part of
Come
my
on.
message. Learn to
Yeah.
love yourself, and then the desires of your heart will be
Yeah.
sent to you.
Yeah.
And learning to be the partner you desire, being
Yeah.
comfortable with you is the key to finding that soulmate. So,
Yeah.
having an attitude of gratitude, opening your heart, being
Yeah.
confident that you will receive the desires of your heart when we are
Yeah.
obedient and we work on ourselves and have faith, it can happen.
Amen. You got that right, Doc. I'm with you on that as well. And Doc, maybe one time, sometime in the future, we got to talk about not only do you got to love yourself, but you better know yourself to love yourself.
That's
So,
that's part of what I do in
yeah,
the courses that I
yeah,
have. Yes,
yeah.
you got to know who you are. Right.
Absolutely. So we're going to be sharing that, guys. I want you guys to get ready to share this out on the planet. For those who are listening live right now on Facebook, I want you guys to share this out as well on your platforms. But get ready for 2024. Doc's got something for y'all for as we talk about relationships. Hey, real quickly, guys, there's a website. I want to promote that right now, seniorseekingsoulmate.com. It's a powerful website. I didn't go through all of it yet. But guys, there's the website right there. I want you guys not only just to go to it, but to study it and to review it there to see exactly what Dr. Smith has available for you. So you can also book some appointments and get some more information. Hey, also to Dr. Smith, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, the quick bio is she's an author. She's also a TV producer. Got to hear more about that. And she's a wonderful speaker, of course, as well, as we know. So again, Doc, thank you so much for being on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn. Hey, Doc, if you don't mind, let's give us a little, let's hit this because we don't know who you are, right? We don't know really who you are yet. But give us a little
Okay.
background. You can go back to where you was born a little bit if you like, but give us a little background about you. Who is Dr. Smith before we get started here?
Well, a little over 69 years ago, my mom was expecting me. I'm going to be 70 in February. Don't mind
No.
telling folks that because I have a great life, lots of experiences.
Yeah.
Uh, Part of what I've done is that I'm a veteran. I was in the Army. I was
Oh,
military
wonderful.
police.
Wow.
I went in, I was married, and I got divorced while I was in there. And I met my second husband while I was in the Army.
Yeah.
And that was a physically violent relationship. It
Mm.
was really bad. He put a
Oh,
gun to my forehead,
Jesus.
messed up my jaw, just
Ah,
did all kind of mean things to me. And when he put the shotgun to my head, I prayed, Lord, please don't let my son see this. And
yeah.
as soon as I prayed that prayer, he dropped the gun and passed out. And so
Praise
I
God.
survived that relationship. And
Yeah.
then on my third marriage, my ex cheated on me with a woman that just she just didn't have the qualities that I had. And for some reason, that was what he wanted to do. And the
Yeah.
way he did it wasn't very nice. So I was closed for a long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, so closed that people would say, "Ooh, looks could kill."
Yeah.
So very closed. I was very depressed at one
Yes.
point, considered suicide. But I got through all of that with my faith. And I went to a show and saw Tyler Perry at the end of his
Yeah.
show. He said, "Don't give up on love. The
Right.
lessons you've learned are so that you can find that person that's for you and know
Yeah.
that that person is learning their lessons in life too." So
Yes.
get yourself ready, because if you don't open your heart and if you're not ready for love, you're going to miss the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I heard him and I started working on myself. I got my doctorate degree at age of
Yeah,
57.
Doc. Yeah.
So I wasn't a spring chicken when I got it, but at
I love it, Doc.
57, got my doctorate. I have traveled the world. I've touched every continent on the world. I
Really?
have worked, oh, every continent. I went to Antarctica in February.
Really? Oh,
And,
wow.
my
That's awesome.
message is, if I could go through all of those traumatic things and
Yeah.
open my heart for love, and I've had some great relationships.
Yeah.
Being this age, some of them have passed on, but sometimes relationships don't always work. And that's part of what I prepare people for in the courses.
Yeah.
But to know that when you have that attitude of gratitude, you
Hmm.
have your positive affirmations, you work on yourself, you love yourself,
Yeah.
then God will bring those desires of your heart to you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when that happened, oh, the whole world opened up. It wasn't just that I was seeking a partner. The
Right.
best partner is me. And that's what
Right.
I learned. And I
Yeah.
loved myself.
Yeah.
And I have done fantastic things by myself, but I
Yeah.
wanted to enhance my life and
Right.
find that partner. And I have found that partner.
Well.
And I have lost that partner. But
Hmm.
I know that it's possible to love at this age after being, some women have been widowed, some
Right.
divorced, like myself. And in my generation, it's not unusual for people to have been married more than once.
Right.
So there's a lot of hurt in the heart. So I also help people break those energetic bonds from
Yeah.
past relationships, whether they were good or not, but
Yeah.
to break those bonds so you can make that space in your heart and open yourself up for love and to receive love.
Yeah, powerful. I love it, Doc. This is wonderful. Hey, guys, we're on Power Connections with my wonderful guest today, Dr. Charlene Smith. This is powerful, guys. This is one of the best topics on the planet for me to talk about. We're talking about relationships, guys. Hey, real quickly, guys, Doc, I was just thinking too, a matter of fact, when we first started networking there to get you on the program, I was thinking, God himself said it's not good for man to be alone. I
That's
thought
right.
scripture. It is not good for man to be alone, guys. Now we understand not everybody gets married. We understand that. That's you're right. You don't have to be. Everybody don't have to be married. But I love marriage, folks. I love being with the opposite sex. So we have that one for sure. So I want to encourage everybody out there to get excited for those who seeking a soulmate, seeking that mate. Pay
Yeah.
attention. God's got something for you today. Hey, real quickly as we get started on talking about the topic. Imagine finding love again, as Doc talked about, guys. If you are ready to create a master plan of finding love again, she has a powerful, powerful course coming up, the New Year's course coming up in January. She's going to talk more about that a little later. But guys, we're promoting the book here, Senior Seeking Soulmate. I love it. And who is better qualified than we? I'm a senior too. So who's not,
Yes.
we know about love. We understand love. We
Yes.
come from love. Yeah. So we understand the real area about that. And Doc, before we close later on, we got to talk to our young people because they don't have a clue what we talk about because they didn't have necessarily upbringing. I'm so glad we were born when we were born because we had our grandparents, we had our mommies and daddies, and we saw relationships that were wholesome. Not everything was perfect, but it was a lot of love in there. So we're excited about that. So we're going to talk to you guys, our young people. Pay attention out there because
Yeah.
Doc got something for you. We don't want you to go through the pitfalls, right?
Right. Right.
Doc, I got one of my mentors that has gone through a landmine. You know, he's gone through like miles of landmines with no legs or arms blown off. That's the person you listen to, somebody who knows what they're talking about. So we don't want you to make the mistakes, young people. That's what I'm saying. We don't want you to make major mistakes, and it takes a
Right.
lot in that area. And hopefully you'll listen to Doc and be attentive today on this area. Hey, this is Power Connections with my guest, Dr. Smith. Doc, let's talk about the relationship. First of all, let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about the problem. What's going on today with relationships, if you don't mind, from your perspective?
Well, okay, that's a pretty complex
Yeah, it is.
situation.
Yes,
But
it
one of
is.
the things that I talk about that kind of simplifies that is that when you're dating, it's
Yeah.
not a relationship.
Okay.
Dating is an exploration. And I think that's where some of us, particularly women and mature women that may have been in long-term relationships,
Yeah. Yeah.
is that when someone starts to pay attention and maybe you go out a few times, you start to think you're in a relationship when it's
Mm-hmm.
not. I had one client, she had met a guy online and he was very nice, gentleman. They went out a few times. And then she wanted to do something, and he said he couldn't because he was
Right.
going to go with someone else to do something else. And she got upset. And I was
Yeah.
like, have you had the conversation that this is an exclusive relationship?
Yeah.
Now, when you're dating, hopefully you're not just jumping in the bed right away. You're giving
Right.
yourself
Right.
time to explore.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
another
big one
mistake
right there.
that happens.
That's the big one right there. Yeah.
We go there too soon.
Right.
For women, we go on a couple of dates and we start planning the wedding, and you
Right.
don't really know the person yet.
Right.
So that's one of the key things, especially being a senior, is
Yeah.
that to get the idea of dating
Yeah.
not being a relationship,
Yeah.
there's a transition that happens. And this is even for the young people. Get to know someone first
Yeah.
and then have the communication. And once that communication takes place, be
Yeah.
clear. That's
Right.
why in my courses, we learn who we are. I do a personality assessment,
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
languages,
Yeah.
even what turns you on.
Right.
We do the Yohari window, just all kinds of things
Right.
to give you a perspective of who you are.
Yeah.
One of the key things I do is a values clarification. What
Mm-hmm.
is important to you? So,
Yeah.
in the values clarification, I use the example of myself. I lived and worked in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and in the military installation at 5 o'clock, the flag goes down. And if you're outside, you stand to give respect to the flag. And so
Right.
I'm in a foreign country saying, oh, I love being American. America's great, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
And then at 5 o'clock, I'd either stay in the building, or if I was walking out the building and got caught, I would hop
Mhm.
back in the building so I wouldn't have to stand outside.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
what I was saying wasn't in alignment with my
Right.
behavior. And
Yeah.
one day, a Vietnam veteran was walking out with me, and I started to do my thing of stepping back inside, and he pulled me outside. And he said, you will stand and respect that flag. I gave my life for that flag. And I was like,
Wow.
oh,
Wow.
wow. So the
Yeah.
least I could do is be
Yeah.
in alignment with what I was saying and
Yeah.
show
Good
the
point.
behavior. So
Yeah.
that's what we talk about. You're saying something's important. Is it really? You say
Yeah.
you like to go to church, you say you're Christian,
Right.
but
Right.
then you don't go to church. Don't even go
Right.
online now where you can go online and attend
Yeah.
church. You
Yeah.
don't read your Bible, you don't pray, but you believe in God and Jesus, and that's great. But
Yeah.
are you doing the behavior?
Right. Right.
So if you want someone that's a practicing Christian,
Yeah.
you need to be a practicing Christian. So we
Absolutely.
go through our values clarification. And so those are some of the things, we like somebody because they're paying attention to us, but
Yeah.
are they complementary to us?
Mm-hmm.
Can we have companionship with them? Do they share the same things? Not just motorcycles or hiking or
Mm-hmm.
not just those things, but do you have the same values? And
Yeah.
that takes time to
Yeah. It does.
determine. A
Yeah.
lot of people recommend a year to be with someone. Now, this is after the dating. After
Yeah.
the dating, be
Right.
together for a year before you make
Yeah.
a decision.
Yeah.
And that decision is, am I going to continue on, or
Right.
am I going to be committed? Are we going
Yeah.
to be committed? And
Yeah.
so At this age, though, some of us don't feel like we have a year. You
Yeah,
know, we've lived
exactly.
more than we're probably gonna live, but who
Right,
knows?
right,
Things
right.
are so
I
much
love,
better these days. But
love,
and that's okay because as
yeah,
mature people, we can determine, okay, am I getting along with this person? Is this what I want to do? Do we both
yeah,
want to make that commitment? Now, the other thing with senior relationships is that although marriage is wonderful and beautiful, and I would love to be there again, even though I've had 3 failed ones, I still believe in the institution of marriage. But one of the things that happens is that one, we don't take time,
right,
but with seniors, there's benefits involved. So how
right.
do you work that out?
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
the person you're compatible with can't replace that income, then that's a
right,
serious discussion.
yeah,
And there are some things that can be done legally that
right,
look like a marriage, may smell
right.
like a marriage, but it's not a marriage, and you
Yeah,
don't lose your
exactly.
benefits. But
Yeah,
there is a strong commitment there.
right.
And
Wow.
so that's one of the things that seniors have to take in
Yeah,
consideration.
right. Absolutely.
So my grandmother used to say, if I got a sofa, they better have a sofa. So,
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. Wow, this is so awesome. Guys, you're listening out there on the network or later on. This is Power Connections with my wonderful guest, Dr. Charlene Smith. She is the brainchild and the author of Senior Seeking Soulmate. And what's nice about this is also the wisdom here and the information and also the workshop coming up is for everybody, guys. Anybody who's thinking about a relationship, not just for the seniors, guys. You
yeah.
guys, ladies, the younger people, Doc, can learn from us in this area, no doubt about it. You know, Doc, as you was talking, I was thinking because practicality, see, people don't want to ask questions today. Now, I learned this over the years, right? You
Uh,
got to ask questions. So, Doc, could you give 3 questions that people need to ask a person? Like the one, for example, when you have a relationship with, or to say you're dating somebody, and you don't ask, maybe they have 5 other women, I don't know, or 5 other men. You need to know that. So, can we talk about that a little bit? Because people get surprised when, well, wait, I can't go out tonight. I got to go out with my other girl tonight, or other man tonight. Well, you didn't tell me that. Because, see, now personally, I'm a jealous person. I'm jealous. I don't want you out with nobody. If we dating now, I don't want you out with nobody. But because I need to know that up front, because I probably won't be with you if you're doing, you with somebody else. Well, you need to go over there. So there's a
well,
lot of people like that. As you know, they
yeah.
don't want you with anybody else because they're trying to be in a relationship, not necessarily
Well,
in a fellowship.
yeah,
So
well, that's the importance of communication. That's why I
yeah,
say dating is different
yeah,
from commitment. Now, if you don't
right,
want anybody dating somebody else, that's when you have to have that communication about
right,
exclusivity. But I'm gonna
right.
tell you,
Yeah,
you
brother,
can
this
ask
is
the
good.
questions, doesn't mean you're gonna get the honest answer, okay?
That's true. That's true.
But what some of the things that I do, I have dated online and met some wonderful people, and
Yeah,
I
right,
do a coffee date
right,
where doesn't cost that much. It's
right,
no
right.
real
And it's safe for you. It's
obligation.
also safe for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see if you like spending about
yeah,
30 minutes with this person before you go
yeah.
further. But I
Right.
ask them for their driver's license.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
because there are folks out there that say they are a certain person, but they're not.
Right,
And
right.
online, they say they're a certain person and they're not.
Yeah, good point.
So, I ask for the driver's license. I also do a background check. There's a lot of free background checks where you can check the phone
Yeah,
number you've been given and those sorts of things.
right,
So,
right. Yeah,
as far as questions, who are you? Let me
yeah,
make sure who you are.
right,
Are you divorced and single?
right.
Now, this is bold, but if they can't show me papers, we're not going further. And
Yeah.
and I ask for the
Wow.
papers.
That's good.
And
That's good, Doc.
so now, if the person is a widow or
Right,
widower,
right.
that everybody keeps those programs from the funeral and stuff. You don't
Yeah,
need to see a
right,
death certificate. But I
right.
do ask the hard questions
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
looking at spending the rest of my life with this person.
Right, right.
And, my mom and dad were married 56 years. You were talking about how our parents were. They were
Yeah,
married 56 years. My father has passed on, and my mother's living with me now. She has
yeah,
dementia. But they were married 56 years, and there were still things my mother was finding out many, many years after they'd been
right,
married and after he passed. Not
right.
necessarily bad things, But the
Mm,
point is, you never really know a person.
right.
One of the things, they were going to go to Germany and get a passport, this was many years ago. My
Hmm.
dad never had his birth certificate. So
Oh.
on my birth certificate, he was like 31 years old. On my brother's birth certificate, he was 30 years old. On my sister's birth certificate, who was 4 years younger, he was like
Wow.
32 years old. So he never had a birth certificate, even
Yeah.
though he was in the Air Force. But they were getting that together, and they had to go back to one of his aunts and get the family Bible, and found out my mom knew he was older than her. She thought he was
Right.
like 12, 13 years older. So she knew she
Right.
married an older man. But
Whew.
come to find out, he was like 16 years older than her.
Wow. 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 I hear you. I know.
Yeah. So
Oh,
my
you talk
point
about
is,
complications. Yeah, you talk about complicated. You're right. Our lives are complicated for whatever reason.
for
Uh,
whatever
yeah.
reason, so it's not
Yeah.
always bad, but
No,
there are
no, no.
things you just don't talk about,
Yeah,
but you have to
exactly.
ask the hard questions. So up
Yeah.
front, are you single?
Yeah.
How are you single? Show me divorce papers, or show me
Right.
something that shows you're a
Right.
widow,
Yeah.
driver's license.
Yeah.
And as you go through, start asking questions about family, because
Yeah.
if family's not important to them and you're a family person, then you're going to know you're not going to be compatible.
Right.
uh, Dr. Phil, when he was dating and in relationship with his wife, they had
Yeah.
to work out because she did a lot of visiting with the family, and he said, "I don't visit family.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love my family, but I don't visit family." He said
Right.
that in
Right.
books.
Right.
So they had to work that out. And
Yeah.
so if you can work it out, great, but knowing who you're with and
Right.
what are the things that are deal breakers. For
Yeah.
me, if they're not a practicing Christian, then they can keep it moving.
That's the first
You
thing.
know,
Yeah. First thing. Yeah.
they
So,
because
yeah.
I need to have God in the front of my relationships.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
so if they don't understand that, it's not going to work. So another example, I like to use examples so people
Yeah.
can
Right. Right.
understand. So I dated a gentleman who was Muslim, and he
Yeah.
prayed 5 times a day.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say he was like, really, really super devoted,
Right.
but
Right.
he was definitely believed in God. And I was like, well, I'm Christian, so how would we work
Yeah.
that out? And he
Right.
said, well,
Right.
we
Right.
both believe in God. We both believe in a higher power. And then he
Yes.
would share things about his religion with me, which a lot I didn't know. So I learned more. And there were some things I was like, okay,
Hmm.
we can see where this goes. I don't know that it would lead to a committed relationship, but
Right.
let's see what
Right.
happens. And
Yeah.
we worked out a lot of those differences, but we both believed in God and a higher power. And I learned that they recognized Jesus just not as their savior, but as
Right.
a teacher. So I
Right.
was like, okay. So, you just have to have that communication,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
asking about family, asking about their belief system.
Yeah.
People laugh about asking about credit scores.
Yeah. Exactly. Get a
So,
dossier. You need a dossier. I almost need a dossier on everybody today, man. I want to see what the government says about you. Yeah, you really have
yeah,
to do some
you know,
research today,
there
folks.
are exceptions to that. Things
Yeah.
happen. We all have life happen,
Yeah.
and you can have a bankruptcy and recuperate from that.
Right.
But was the bankruptcy like yesterday, or was it like
Right.
15, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
So you can recover from that. So you
It's
just really have to
yeah.
explore.
It's just being honest, Doc. What we talk about. You just say be honest up front. If you've been
Yeah,
in a hospital with some issues, tell it. Tell you if that comes up. You don't have to divulge everything in the beginning, but if it comes up, you need to let people know. Hey, I used to live in Egypt, and I used to do
yeah.
this and travel the world. And you got, but that's being honest with people. So that's a whole nother level there, Doc. I love it.
Yeah. Now with seniors, you talk about have you been in the hospital?
Yeah,
Seniors, sometimes your social life becomes going to the doctor and
yeah,
getting a test
yeah,
for
yeah,
this and going to the pharmacy.
yeah.
That's part of being a senior also.
Right, right.
So, how
Ooh,
well are they taking care of themselves?
yeah, good point. Good
And I'm
point,
a,
Doc.
I'm gonna go to a sensitive area here.
Yeah, come on now.
So
Big
I
grown, just
met a
grown folks.
guy.
Just grown
I
folks
met a
now.
guy
Right.
online who was wonderful. He had a doctorate. We had great conversation. He bought me
Yeah,
coffee, perfect gentleman.
yeah.
And towards the end of our conversation, he says, well, I need you to know that I'm a prostate cancer survivor. And I said,
Okay.
that's awesome. Because for me, what did you do about that? You've survived a
Yeah.
major
Right.
life
Right.
event,
Yeah.
so how are you handling that? And that's the other thing about seniors is not so much the sexual act, it's the
Right.
intimacy, which is
Right.
different. But
Right.
he had had some things done that he could perform. And I was like, wow, okay. So,
Yeah.
we took our time, got to know
Right.
each other and all of that, had a very long-term relationship and were very intimate with each other, even though he
Right.
had survived prostate cancer. And
Right.
so people don't understand that when men have prostate cancer, that's the gland that causes an erection.
Right.
And if that gland is gone, there's no erection. And
Right.
so, of course, that then makes sexual intercourse difficult.
Right.
But there are so many things out there. We talked about technology and advancements that
Right.
men, if
Natural
they are
remedies. Hmm.
brave enough to go and
Yeah.
talk to their doctor and seek
Right.
help, they can
Right.
still bring pleasure to their partner.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that was a great learning lesson for
Yeah, that's
me.
a good
And,
point. Good point. Yeah, I love it.
you
I
know,
love it. Hey
yeah.
guys, we're talking about a great topic today with Dr. Charlene Smith, guys. We're on relationships. Specifically, we're talking about Senior Seeking Soulmate, her book, guys. Doc, we got to do a commercial break for that workshop coming up, if you don't mind, coming up in the new year,
Yes.
January 3rd through the 4th, January 2024. Please tell us about the workshop and how people can register for that and get more information, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, it's called the New Year's course because resolutions only last a day. Where going through this course, you could find your soulmate and that could last a lifetime.
Yeah.
So the course is an intensive course. It's going to be over the 2 days. It'll be 3 hours each day. And
Hmm.
they will learn the self-assessment. They'll learn how to break the energetic bonds. They'll learn about self-care. Then they'll do their values clarification, setting goals, not just for a relationship, but for their life, for the year. We'll talk about SMART goals because the
Yeah.
difference between a dream and a goal is to put a date on it, and then you
Yeah,
have a goal.
exactly.
And
Exactly, Doc.
then you can begin to work it, and you have 80% chance of success by writing down your goals. And
Hmm.
so we'll be doing that and being very intentional about the steps to take for each goal that they come up with. And then, of course, how to implement the plan. We're going to talk about updating your looks and getting nice photos if you decide to go online, how to start the conversations if you're meeting people and dating, and also how to make the transition from dating to relationships. So it's going to be a lot in a short
Yeah.
amount of time. And then
Right.
after that, they'll have me available for coaching. So they go on a date and they need to talk about it. I'll be right there. It's a journey that we go on together. And so I even have a VIP coaching package where we use the little Vox
Yeah.
app, and I can go with them on the date with the app so they
Oh,
can go to the
really?
bathroom and say, hey, this is what's happening. And
Yeah.
they can even do things like tell me, I've got a date at 7 o'clock. I'm going to be going here because
Right.
that's one of the safety things that we'll be
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
also, letting somebody know where you are. And
Yeah.
so they can tell me that I'll know where they are.
Hmm.
We do things like get what do they call those throwaway phones?
Yeah.
You can get one of those to use if you're online or if you're meeting people in person. You give them that number, and that way they don't get your personal number. So, a
Right.
lot of
Right.
safety tips. So, it's a lot of stuff that we do.
Yeah.
One, to elevate yourself, find that love for yourself, get that confidence, and then to go on the journey with me to find that soulmate.
Amen. I love it. Hey, guys, you can go to the website right there, guys. See the website right there and get more information about this wonderful workshop coming up the 3rd through the 4th in January 2024. Doc, can you believe it? 2024 is right around the corner. Isn't that amazing? Just
I
a
know. Hey, and they can also email me at Dr. Smith. It's small d, small r, period, Smith at seniorseekingsoulmate.com. I have a Facebook group, Senior Seeking Soulmate, and I have a community, Senior Seeking Soulmate community. So any of those, they can
yeah.
contact me on Messenger or email me or go to the website and get involved. And I'll give them a free 30-minute call plus a little gift to encourage them to sign up for the course.
Fantastic, Doc. Thank you so much. Hey, Doc, also, too, I want to let people know that you got the book. Is also on Amazon. I take it as well, in addition to the website, right? So there's the
Yeah.
website. Order the book, guys, and go to Amazon and type in Dr. Charlene Smith. And you'll get the Senior Seeking Soulmate. Matter of fact, let's talk about that topic there, Doc, on the name of the book there. How'd you come up with Senior Seeking Soulmate? How did it come up with that name? Gee,
Well,
what is up?
back when they did the classifieds,
Yeah,
they would
yeah.
do,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
female seeking, male seeking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we came up with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
wonderful. That's great. Great area. And it's right straight to the point, right? That's very, you ain't got to think about that. We know exactly what that's saying today
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
It's powerful. Hey, also, too, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, if you're listening right now, I want you to be able to, I'm sure she will approve this here. If you have a podcast, guys, television,
Oh, yeah.
digital TV, I want you guys to invite Doc out. Also, Doc, there's thousands of organizations around the country, around the world. We talk about groups, organizations, associations. You guys always need speakers, right? I know that for sure. Specifically, the women's, there's like 10,000 more. I mean, this is like a lot of different women organizations. I want
Yeah.
the people who do the events and bring in speakers. You need to contact Dr. Smith about being a speaker for next year, guys,
Thank
at
you.
one of your events. So everybody that has a group, organization, if you have employees, if you got you just want to need a pep talk for your coworkers, whatever, bring her in. But you got to have a budget now. It ain't for free. So make sure you have a budget for it. At least got to take care of food and hotel and flight maybe too as well. So minimum. But guys, I want you to invite her out because relationships, oh man, that's probably second to God. That'd be number one topic right there. Relationships, almost.
Right, right.
So, guys, are so important. I want you guys to invite her out. So, everybody in our network around the globe, I want you guys to invite her on your show. Even though I don't care if it's Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got, invite her to talk about this wonderful, wonderful topic. Doc, one thing I'm always concerned about is safety, right? Today, unfortunately, people are putting on facades, they're putting on stuff, they won't tell you stuff today. I mean, you got to be careful. Matter of fact, I got a lot of mentees, right? A lot of mentors and mentees. And I always want to know who's are you dating, because unless you do some research, you don't know what's going on. They want to take
Right.
you to Vegas and you don't know if you're coming back from Vegas. You don't even know if you're going to be back from Vegas. So they may have paid for everything, but still the safety issue is a concern there. So can you
Right.
talk a little bit about that? How do you prevent that from folks falling to the traps of that as well?
Yeah, there's a few things. When you're online in particular,
Yeah,
so let me go back to meeting people in person because that's really
yeah,
a great way to meet people. So use your network, say, hey, do
yeah.
you know anybody that's single? I've done
Right,
that, and sometimes they say, yeah, I know somebody's single, but I'm not going to introduce you to
right,
them because,
exactly, exactly.
so, but that's a good way to separate out who's serious and who's not. But
Right.
then online, you can tell if some of these people are scammers. One, if they look gorgeous, more than likely it's a model's picture that they've taken.
Uh,
And you can do a Google, oh, what is it called? Google Images, I think,
okay.
and put that in there, and you'll see if it is someone that has a lot of pictures online because they're a model. The other
Mm,
thing
point.
is, when did they start their Facebook? I've gone on there and they just started putting all these pictures on there. All the dates are the same. November
Yeah.
26, November 26, November 26.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is the military. They take the military pictures like the generals, and it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'd love to date a general. Yeah. And then you go
Yeah.
on there and, and I've talked to some of them just to see what they do.
Right.
And
Right.
I'll message them and say, hey, so you said you were at Fort Drum, New York. How
Right.
was the weather there? And they might say, oh, the weather was great. Well, everybody knows Fort Drum is nothing but snow like 10 months out of the year.
Got you.
Okay. So, that kind of a question. There was a
Yeah.
guy that was selling puppies. I'm looking for puppies.
Yeah.
And there was a woman's picture on the Facebook profile.
Right.
So I called through Messenger and they had a strong accent. I don't know if it's Nigerian or not, but it was a strong accent.
Got
And
you.
the woman's picture was a white woman. And so I
Mm,
started saying, oh, so you say you live in, oh, where was it? I'm going to say Burnett, but that's not where it
yeah.
was. But
Yeah.
did you?
Mm-hmm.
So that's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. And I said,
Yeah.
so how far are you from me? And he goes, just a moment. And then he comes back and he says, oh, it's about 30 minutes. No. So then I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
why do you sound like a man and your pictures of a woman? Well, I am a woman. I just have a deep voice. I said, well, why do you have an accent if you say you're a Texan? Texans don't
right,
have that kind of
exactly.
accent.
Eh,
Click,
eh.
click.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
hung up on me because they knew I had caught on. They
Oh
were,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. That's
if
wonderful.
somebody says they love you and you've only been talking to them for two or
Right.
3 days, and they're, oh, I love you, you're beautiful, you're
Yeah.
this, you're that. If they say, oh, I just had an emergency and I need some money,
Right. Right.
if you get that far. So looking at the profiles and, text questions that will tell
Yeah.
you if they
Right.
really are what they say they are.
Absolutely. You guys, you got to be a little shrewd today, okay? You don't have to be rude, but you got to be shrewd.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got to be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, guys, today in
there
this area.
you go.
Hey,
That's
we're
right.
talking to Dr. Charlene Smith, guys, about her wonderful book here, Senior Seeking Soulmate. I love it because I love the topic of relationships, guys. This is the area that needs to be fixed, needs to be improved each and every day. But today, you got to have some counsel. You need somebody to help you navigate today. That's where Dr. Smith comes in to help you
Yeah.
in the area. I love it. So, Doc, so what's some of the top 3 areas for seniors today seeking soulmate? What's some of the areas that they're really outside of having somebody to talk to and companion? But what's some of the top 3 areas that seniors are really looking for in a soulmate today?
Well, I think it all kind of wraps up into companionship
Yeah,
because people like to travel. Seniors are free now. They
yeah,
have adult children, they have grandchildren. They're
yeah.
free to travel. They may be on a fixed income, but they're not worried
Right,
about supporting a family. They're just taking
right.
care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, it all boils down to companionship, finding that special person that you want to
Yeah,
spend time with. May not
right,
be that 24/7, like we talked about getting
right,
married, but
right.
someone that on the weekends you're not sitting on the sofa twiddling
Yeah,
your thumbs or doing
yeah.
like I do sometimes, watching the on demand and looking at all the rom-coms and the Golden Bachelor, all the junk
Right.
TV, putting my
Yeah,
brain on alpha waves.
yeah,
But I do have a pretty good social life. So I'm
yeah,
just saying, I've been there though. I've
yeah.
been there. So, someone that can encourage you. The
Right.
gentleman I told you about that was a prostate cancer survivor,
Yeah.
he would always say, okay, so we're going to church tomorrow, right? And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, with him, my second date with him was going to church. So I
Yes.
was like, all right, this
Yeah.
this dude is on it. And so yeah, companionship would be all three of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Doc. I love it. Hey, Doc, I was thinking as you was talking, can you talk a little bit because we want to encourage seniors. We already pretty much know. A lot of us know already because of the wisdom we have and also the experiences we've had as well. But can you talk how important friendship is to develop friendships before you get to the serious side? But I think if we can all be friends first, and if it develops into something greater, that's wonderful. But can you talk a little bit about friendship?
Well, okay. So I'm going to tread lightly here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great to be friends. The problem with that is that it could stay as friends. And if you're
Okay.
wanting a love relationship, as the younger
Yeah.
folks say, you might end up staying in the friend zone.
Right.
And so I have told people I'm not looking for a friend. I want my soulmate to be my friend, to be my
Gotcha.
best friend, but I'm
Gotcha.
not looking for a friend. So if all
Yeah.
you want is a casual friend relationship, we can
Yeah.
do that. But
Yeah.
just know I'm not going to put my time and effort there. I'm going to put my
Mhm.
time and effort into someone that wants a love connection,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
wanting that commitment,
Yeah.
that wants to spend that time with me. So
Mhm.
yes, you want to be friends for sure. You want to like each other. You want to be
Yeah.
compatible and enjoy
Yeah.
doing the same things.
Yeah.
But having a friendship is different from being in a relationship.
Right.
So, and the other thing I talk about breaking those energetic bonds, a lot of times people will be in relationships and they
Hmm.
break up the relationship and say, oh, we're still friends. But why are you going to waste your time with someone that's told you they don't want to be with you? You
Right.
know, they've said this is not for me. So
Yeah.
why do things with them, or take up time on the phone and doing all those things that friends do when that's not what you want?
Right.
And so
Right.
part of breaking the energetic bonds,
Yeah.
matter of fact, somebody just said this to me. They said, but you're still friends with your ex. And I said, no, we're not friends. We have some business to do. We're friendly to each other. We
Right.
respect each other,
Respect each other.
but
Yeah.
that's not my friend.
Right.
He
Right.
told me very clearly he didn't want me. And so, because we still have business together,
Right.
that's why we still have
Right.
contact. But it is not, they are not my friend.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
Yeah.
you
Uh,
know,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it can get exciting, I can tell you. Doc, I was just wrote down here. I hope y'all taking notes out there, those listening, because Doc is dropping some powerful stuff. I want you guys to get her book too, guys. Okay, Senior Seeking Soulmate. Doc, I'm going to ask you about that word soulmate too in a little while, because that's a deep one here without giving too much away in your book as well. But Doc, let's talk about the seniors that find each other, but they got the family member, right? Excuse me, the children say, "Wait a minute, Pop. Wait a
uh,
minute, Mom, we don't like them. We don't like her." What do you say about that? How do you get past the children, man? Because Mama ain't gonna get everybody. We ain't gonna let Mama date nobody. We can help it. So
yes, yes, and it's, I laugh because
yeah, that's a powerful one.
in my book, I start out my chapter about adult children. The first thing I say, first of all, is none of their business.
Okay,
That's the
yeah,
first thing. It's none of
that's
their business. If you want to
wow.
share that with them, okay. But you are the parent, even though they're adults, they are still the child.
That's
You
true,
know,
man.
they may be an adult child, but
Like,
they
good point.
still, you the parent. And
Yeah,
so that's one of the points. Communication again.
yeah,
You don't have to introduce people to your children. You're on exploration. You're trying to find out if this person is for you.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
once you've gotten to that point, then sure, introduce them to family and all of that. And if they don't like them, well, if you like them and they're
Get the
good
step.
to you, that's all that matters if they're good
Yeah,
to you. But you have
yeah,
to be smart,
yeah.
and sometimes children are concerned about their inheritance.
Right,
So you
right,
have
right.
to put your
Yeah,
finances in a trust. So
yeah,
all of that stuff, your assets and everything are protected. I talked
yeah.
about that too. Get your assets protected, because if you don't get married, but you live with someone, in some states, that's common law. So you
Right.
just have to be real careful about that.
Yeah.
But having the conversation with your children, my supervisor, the last job I worked at, his
Hmm.
mother-in-law was online dating, and she was 82, I think, at
Oh,
the
I love
time.
it.
And
Yeah.
he was like, I cannot believe she's online
Right.
dating. And I'm like,
Right.
she's living her best life. He goes, it's just ridiculous. No, that isn't. I
No.
said, she's not too old to find somebody. She's
Yeah.
having a good time. So you
Yeah.
just have to kind of keep your children in check and say, hey, I'm doing these, reassure them I'm dating safely. I have a coach.
Yeah.
I've read up on this. I've researched it. I know how to do things safely. Yes, there's still some things that could happen, but I
Right.
need you to know this is something I want in my life,
Yeah. Yeah.
and respect my boundaries.
Hmm.
This,
Exactly.
and sometimes you have to say, well, when's the last time you came over to visit?
Right. Good point. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's you just have to communicate and know that it's you are the parent, and
Yeah.
they are still to respect you and honor you. And if this is something you want to do, if they can't support you, then be quiet.
Right. Exactly. That's good. Guys, that's why you need to be in the workshop. That's also why you need to read the book too, guys. You need to read the book, Senior
Yeah.
Seeking Soulmate, so you can get those tips, guys, from there as well. Doc, I want to let people know New Year's course is coming up, guys, January 3rd through the 4th, January 2024. You can email Doc at drsmith at seniorseekingsoulmate.com for a free discovery call and a gift. Isn't that powerful, guys? So once again, that's dr.smith at seniorseekingsoulmate.com. Also, too, guys, you can go to the website there as well, right there, guys, seniorseekingsoulmate.com for more information. And of course, you guys can order the book for your network there, for your needs there as well, on Amazon and on the website. Powerful. Well, Doc, let's give a little tidbit about what is a soulmate? What's soulmate? What is that all about? Everybody got their own definition, but what does that mean? How do I know I have a soulmate?
Well, well, okay. So the first thing that I talk about with
Yeah.
soulmate doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be your life partner for the rest of your
Okay.
life because
Okay.
things happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes people romanticize and say, "Oh, I found my soulmate. I never have to go any further." Life happens, but your soulmate is someone that gets you. Now, I had a discussion with a lady. She says, I'm waiting for divine intervention to bring my
Mm.
soulmate. And
Okay.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good because
Yeah.
I know of people that have done that and their soulmate have come to them.
Right.
Soulmate is someone that you're compatible with. You
Yeah.
have the same values. So let me just share this. I pray a lot and I
Mm.
listen, and God does speak to me.
Yeah.
And so I prayed a very specific prayer. I
Hmm.
prayed that I wanted someone that was educated. I wanted someone that was a free thinker because I'm a free thinker,
Yeah.
someone that does community service, someone that's active in the church, reads the
Yeah.
Bible, will pray with me,
Yeah.
that likes to travel, that's
Right.
not stingy with their money because I'm not
Yeah.
stingy with my money, and
Right.
all of these very, very specific things, family, all I had this long list and I prayed that prayer. And I'm telling you, my prayer was answered. Everything was check, check. Because, like I told
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
second date, we went to Starbucks for the first date. Second date, we were in church. That was
Yeah.
our second date. And
Yeah.
then he worked for a veterans organization. He was an officer in one of them, giving his community
Hmm.
service. He taught at a university like I do. I mean, we just had so many things that were click, 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 click,
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
along great, had same kind of sense of humor. That's when you know you have your soulmate. I even prayed about someone that would send me flowers. He gave me
Wow.
flowers every week,
Wow. That's
pink
wonderful.
roses. My love language is
Yeah.
spending quality time. He
Mhm.
called and said, Hey, I'm going to go run some chores. I'm not really doing much else. And I said,
Yeah.
Great. He goes, I'll come by and pick you up. That's quality time. And
Yeah.
we went and
Right.
ran the errands and talked and had a great time. Didn't even go to lunch or anything, just did the
Right.
errands.
Yeah. Just
But
hung
he
out.
got my love language.
Yeah.
And
One.
so that's how you know your
Yeah.
soulmate. One
Yeah.
with prayer and being specific and paying attention
Yeah.
and taking the time. He would take the assessment so that I knew what his love language was. He knew what mine was. I knew what kind of personality he had. He knew what mine was. We did the values clarification and came out with a lot of similar things. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's a work in progress. It's an
Yeah. Yeah.
exploration.
Yeah. Powerful. I love it, Doc. Hey, she mentioned a key word, guys. I hope y'all picked it up. I wrote it down. Pay attention to details, guys. When you're talking to the ladies, right? And vice versa, women the other way as well. Pay attention to details. So guess
Yes.
what, guys? You have to pay attention. And I think we as seniors, we understand that now. I had to learn that, of course, Doc, over the years, but you pay attention to specific areas. And you also can't be selfish, guys. I'm gonna talk to the brothers out there right now. You
Yeah.
can't be selfish. It's not about you all the time, man. You gotta say what does she want, right? You may want to do this, but she may not want to do it. So you may have to do what she wants, right? So consider that and do that with a great smile and a great attitude as well. I love it. I love
Let me add
it.
another little piece to it.
Yeah.
Knowing your role, some people will have difficulty with this, but Steve Harvey said men protect, profess, protect, profess. See, here's my senior moment.
All
Protect.
right.
Anyway, there's a third P
Provide, I
there.
think provide, right? Provide with one.
Provide, protect, and profess. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, women, we nest, we
Mm-hmm.
nurture, and we
Right.
notice.
That's correct.
So when you understand your roles in the relationship, so
Mm-hmm.
nesting is making the home beautiful, comfortable,
Yeah.
a place of like a sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
basically, a place where you get away from the world and you can rest your soul.
Yeah.
The nurturing is where, we do the loving, we reinforce people, we encourage people. And the noticing, we look for details and things
Yeah.
like that. There's a comedian that talks about once you get married, you have to answer all these questions. Oh, you probably heard it because it's on Facebook, but he does this little scenario where the guy parks in a parking garage and the wife starts saying, "Why'd you park here? I wouldn't have parked here. You see those other spaces over there? Why didn't you park over there? That's closer. It's close to the elevator. Why did you park here at the end of
Right,
the?" And so it's like we notice, we do details. That's
right.
what we're there for. We're looking out for our partners, for our family. So
Yeah.
that's why I like to say we do the three N's and the guys do the three P's. So understanding that is real
Oh,
important in a relationship.
oh, I love it, Doc. This is powerful. Hey, guys, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughn. My wonderful guest today on the network is Dr. Charlene Smith, ladies and gentlemen. She is an author, and she's also a wonderful, wonderful producer as well, author, TV producer, and speaker, guys. And I want you guys to share this out on the network. She has the book, guys. Here it is, Seniors Seeking Soulmate. I love it. I want you guys to get that book, to share that out. She's on Amazon and on the website right there, guys, Seniors
Yeah,
Seeking Soulmate.com for more
yeah,
information. Her bio's on there, guys. All the information is there as well. And we're just excited about her being a part of the program as well. What a great topic today. Senior Seeking Soulmate. I love it. You'll get
yeah.
some great tips. And we got the workshop coming up, guys, in January. Doc, let's do another promo about that workshop. Is it live somewhere or is it virtual?
Yeah,
Tell us
it's
about
going
that.
to be on Zoom. So wherever they are, they can join in on Zoom. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about the TV program. It's
Oh,
called Setting It Off Senior Style on the
really?
African American Network. They can see it on Facebook. It's the African American Network. They go to their Facebook page and they can scroll down and they'll see Setting It Off Senior Style. I have two co hosts with it. I produced it and I'm a host on that show. And we talk about all kinds of things related to seniors.
Yeah.
We do
Yeah.
talk about the dating, but we talk about finances, we talk
Right.
about adult children, we talk about nurturing relationships. And this
Yeah.
is our second season. So
Oh,
all of
wow.
those episodes are on the African American Network Facebook. So
Yeah.
there's that. And then, yes, the New Year's course is going to be the 3rd and 4th of January, and it will be on Zoom. So once they register, they'll get the link for that. And again, it's going to be an intensive. So, like you said, they need to be prepared to take notes.
Yeah.
There'll be some coaching afterwards. So when they start to implement their master plan, they will have me as their coach going through that journey with them. I'm their number one fan and
Yeah.
I support and encourage them. They also get some um, encouraging tapes throughout
Yeah.
the course, throughout the time. It's basically 6 weeks after the course. They'll have follow up, and I send encouraging tapes, not
Wow.
every day, but every 2 or 3 days to keep them
Yeah.
on track. There are assignments that they have to do. Because
Right.
remember, when you know yourself and you
Right.
understand who you are and how you relate to the world,
Yeah.
then you can get the desires of your heart and become the partner that you desire.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah,
love it, Doc. That's powerful. Thank you so much for that TV update as well. That's great. Setting
yes.
off senior style. I like that. That's powerful. Congratulations on that as well. What
Thank
a great series here. We're looking forward to seeing that as well. Hey, Doc, two things before we wrap this thing up today. One, we got to talk to our young people out there, right? And then we'll give you
right.
some final thoughts. Young people, we know that you're brilliant. You guys are just taking over the world. You guys are also graduating from college, from graduate school and above, but also too, you're looking for love. You're looking for a relationship. Some of you, not everybody, of course, but we're talking to those who like to get married, like to date and do all the above. Maybe, of course, have a family one day as well. So, Doc, if you could talk to our young people today, because they need it,
Yes.
they need a little help. Whatever you want to say to our young people,
Okay.
the men and the women today. Thank you so
At,
much.
at my university, I have a couple of seminars for the students there, and they're from
Yeah,
like 18. Of course, there's some more mature students there, but I try to talk to the 18 and 20 somethings,
yeah,
and we try to bridge that gap. I can be a mentor for them, but they have people in their families that can be
yeah,
mentors for them. And
yeah.
so we talk about some of the dynamics, not only as seniors. I get tickled because I ask them, what's the first life event for a person that says they are now officially a senior citizen? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I said, when you get that AARP card in the mail. I said, so that's
Exactly.
the first thing. I said, the next
Exactly.
thing is when you go to Denny's and you're 55 and
Right,
you get the
right.
senior discount. And then
Exactly.
it's Social Security. So they're like, What? I go,
Yeah,
yes. Now, you as young people can
right,
prepare for those times,
right.
especially Social Security. Your
Yeah,
retirement may not be that good when you get up to be a
right,
senior.
right,
So
right.
start preparing financially for your future, for your family, and for your retirement. And some
Yeah,
of them are like, there's a future, and it's like,
right,
yes.
right, right, right.
And then taking time to find that partner that can be your life partner.
Yeah.
General Farrell, who I believe he retired as a three-star general, one of the few Black generals in the Army, he
Wow.
said that when he was in college, he set up his 5 year plan. And
Wow.
part of that 5 year plan was that he wanted a partner that knew how to manage money,
There you
that
go.
was Christian,
There you go.
that had family values, that was close to their family.
Yeah.
And so he wanted someone that knew how to do the money and how to invest.
Yeah.
So he
Right.
joined the accounting club.
Oh, I love it. That
And
was
so
smart. That was smart. That was
he's a
smart.
smart man, I tell you.
Yeah, that was
So
smart.
they've been married 40 something years now, but he set up a plan for who he wanted for his partner. That
Yeah.
is something, that is one of the best things a young person can do. Take
Yeah.
their time, figure out what is it you want in a life partner, and
Right.
then go act on it. Like he went to the accounting club. There's people there that know money, they know about
Right.
investing. And so
Right.
he
Right.
did find his wife there in the
Yeah.
accounting club.
That
She's
makes sense.
a certified public accountant now. And he has lots of homes and they do all this great stuff. They got a great life and they're compatible. And he made sure they were compatible. He didn't want to get married right away. They took their
Right.
time. He
Right.
had a plan. He was in ROTC. He says, look, I'm going to be in the military. Are you
Mhm.
willing to travel the world? And she was like, yeah. And so take the time to figure
Yeah.
out who it is. Don't just fall for someone because they're paying attention to you.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's nice to date the football player. It's nice to date the
Right.
class president. But, those are things that go away. They may graduate, but then they're no longer the class president. They're no longer the football player.
Yeah.
So, who are they as a person and what are those values that they have? There's no
Amen.
rush to get married. Take care of you
Right.
first. Be the partner that you desire. If you want to marry a rich person, then get
Right.
on the track and become a rich person. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things out there that can make you a millionaire in not such a short amount of time, but can make that happen. You can put money away and save it. If you put $1,000 in a IRA account, by the time you get 50 and 60, you could be
Yeah.
a millionaire just because of how it compounds.
Right.
Get assets. Look
Yep.
at one of the things that some of the military people do when they get stationed in different places, they buy a home
Right.
and then they rent it. So somebody else is paying it off. So by the time they get out of the military, they've got 3 or 4 rental properties.
Exactly.
So planning your life is important, not
Yeah.
just for a partner, but for your well-being, being
Right.
healthy, doing the right things of taking care of your body, taking time for yourself,
Yeah.
journaling, positive
Yeah.
affirmations,
Yeah.
prayer, and then becoming the partner that you desire. That's
Yeah.
about the best that I can tell a young person these days.
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful, Doc. Thank you so much. With the wisdom coming from Dr. Charlene Smith, guys. Hey, we're talking about seniors seeking soulmate, and it not just affects seniors, guys. It affects everybody because all y'all young people gonna be seniors one day. We trust. So we
Yeah,
want you to get. You're gonna have. You gotta. You talk about getting the test scores. I'm sorry, getting the test results before you even get there, guys. You can get all the information from the doc right here, Doc, on that in this area
yep,
of
yep,
relationships. That's powerful. So guys, go to seniorseekingsoulmate.com for more information. But we love our young people. We want you to have
yeah,
healthy and wonderful relationships, but you got to have the wisdom. You got to learn from people
yep,
like Dr. Smith because we know we've been there. We understand we made mistakes, so we can help you along the way to not to make those mistakes. Hey, there's the book, Senior
yeah.
Seeking Soulmate, guys, on Amazon and of course on her website. Doc, let me give you some final thoughts there. Anything you want to share before we close this bad boy out? We could talk for another hour easy.
Yes, I've had a great time.
Yes, man.
Love conquers all. When
Yes,
you
it
love
does.
yourself, you
Love
will open
yourself.
yourself up. What I
Yeah,
say is when you love yourself, you learn to
yeah,
radiate and attract that soulmate. So
yeah,
that's the thing, knowing who you are, becoming the partner you desire. Love conquers all. Open your heart
yeah,
and receive love and give love. It's a process, but it's possible. As
Amen.
Tyler Perry said, don't give up on love. We all deserve love. We're all
Yes,
uniquely
yes,
beautiful and
yes.
worthy and deserving of love.
I love it. Thank you so much. You know, Doc, I was just writing down here in the future, and sometime next year we'll talk about it offline later. But we got to do a panel discussion with you about this area. So be thinking about that. Let's plan a panel discussion. Bring everybody
Yeah,
to talk about this, and this is going to be great because this is such an important area. I'm kind of saddened because some people are just looking for the right relationships and they're not in one yet, and
yeah,
because there's so much going on today. And so we got to help them a little bit. And we want people to enjoy their life, to have those positive and healthy relationships. But it takes some work, though. It takes a little work. And you're going to
it
need a little
does.
as well. I love it. Well, Dr.
Yeah,
Smith, thank you so much for being with us today on Power Connections. This has been amazing. This is one of my favorite topics, that you can tell. I love this area. And we're just excited. Once again, guys, there's the book, Senior Seeking Soulmate. Guys, I want you to share this out on everybody's
yes,
platform. You guys
please.
push this out. I'm going to be pushing this out on about 10 different platforms, Doc. So you guys do this. Going to be on my YouTube channel, the MLT YouTube channel. This is part of the Men Let's Talk Network. So we're going to push this out because men are talking, women are talking, families
Yeah,
are talking all around the world. Also, two guys, there's the website, seniorseekingsoulmate.com. Do your research, guys. Do your research. Send also to send that out as well. But once again, Doc, I want to encourage everybody, if you got any type of media, call Dr. Smith to have her on your program, okay?
yeah,
Guys,
yes,
a lot of you are looking for speakers anyway. I don't care if it's radio, digital radio, traditional radio, satellite. I don't care if you're on Mars out there transmitting back to the Earth. Put her on your network, right, guys, as well, on top of that. So I want you guys to bring her in. She's also, I'm sure she's willing to talk to your organizations, guys, your groups, and your associations, and
you
your
got it.
anything to motivate you guys
Yes,
in this area. Because I can tell you guys, relationships affect just about everything, a part of our life, you know, whether it's work, job, whatever you're doing,
yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
life if that's what you want. So we're excited about that. Well, Doc, thank you so much for your time today. Wow, this
Thank
is
you.
great. Thank you so much. And can't wait to have you back. You are always invited. I want to let you know that up
Thank
front. You
you.
are invited back again. So you say, hey, Kev, I want you to come. I want to come on. You can come on for 5 minutes or 5 hours, whatever you need
All
to
right.
do. So we'd love to have you come back on. Hey,
Thank you.
guys, this has been Power Connections with my beautiful and awesome guest, guys, and the wisdom that she has with her book, Senior Seeking Soulmate, Dr. Charlene Smith. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. Hey, let's leave you with this. Hey, remember to always outlove, outserve, and outforgive each other. And remember, Jesus is Lord. And remember, Jesus is the reason for the real season, guys. Okay, don't forget that. Don't get it twisted.
Amen.
There is a reason for the
Amen.
season. Hey, guys, if you need prayer or anybody needs some help, anything, give us a holler, guys. We'll get in touch. You know how to get in touch with Doc here. But if you guys need prayer or anything like that or need some help on this area, let us know. You guys contact me in the message board there on the network. And I look forward to having you. Doc, want you to have a Merry, Merry Christmas, of course. And
Same to
appreciate your
you.
time today. God bless you now.